Beverly here and welcome to my channel. Today I've got this look going on from the Modern Renaissance palette. What I decided to do is just take the plunge and give it a go. For whatever reason, these colors have been intimidating me, and the fact that there's so many mattes, I tend to gravitate towards shimmers. But the colors are so beautiful and the shadows blend so nicely. So I wanted to try something and I thought, okay, what better way to do than just take the plunge, do it on camera and see what happens. I think I'm going to do that a bit more because usually I, play around with it, figure out what I want to do, but it's kind of fun to just wing it too. So this is my winged look today, meaning I wong it, yeah. So I guess that's all I have to say. Yeah. Let's get started. So we're starting with a fresh face today, and so I've washed it and I've moisturized it and it's squeaky clean. Yes, indeed. So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to add a little bit more moisture under the eyes. And I've mentioned this before, but because I am starting to get mature, I don't know if I'll ever actually be mature, but my skin is starting to get mature. So I'm getting more fine lines and stuff under here. What I find that really helps with the application of foundation is to go in with extra cream in this area. And then when you put your foundation and stuff on, I find that it just makes it look a lot less dry and, like liney. So today I'm going to use the MAC Strobe Cream, and I've been really enjoying this. So I just put a little bit under each eye. Oh, that was a lot. And I just kind of rub it in. The other thing that I like about this is it kind of has illuminating properties. And I usually put a little bit on my forehead as well. Now, if you're super oily, this may not be the best for you, but I find that it works really good for me. And I take it kind of down onto the cheeks a bit. Any place where I'd normally add highlight, I kind of put that there, and it gives my skin a bit of a glow, but it's not overkill. Of course, it looks super shiny on the screen. Okay, so I do that. And then the next thing that I do, now my nose, the foundation on my nose and on my chin oftentimes disappears. So if I'm wanting to do a look that's gonna last all day, I learned this trick from Nakia Joy. She's got a channel here on YouTube. She's from, I think, Australia. Is use the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC. I just use a flat concealer brush, and I put a thin layer of this on my nose to act kind of as a primer. And what it does is it helps keep the foundation on all day long, but it also really minimizes the pores. So the key is to just keep the layer really thin. So I just start applying it, and you see how red my nose is. And you'll see it on my chin too. But the thinnest layer I can possibly get. And what I'll do too is I kind of switch and go different directions, and that just kind of gets it into the pores. It's a very thin layer, but it just cancels out the redness, and then that thing is stuck there all day. It's great. And my nose, like I am part puppy, I think, so my nose is always running and slightly wet. So I find that putting this down on my nostrils like that really helps too. Like a lot of times I'll have to blow my nose, so I'll blow my nose and then the foundation's off just here. I find that using the paint pot works good. So there's Soft Ochre and then there's Painterly. I like Soft Ochre better just because it's got a little more yellow, which helps cancel out my extreme redness. And really, you could put this on your cheeks as well. I don't bother doing the cheeks just because I want to keep this as moisturized as possible. But yeah, if you've got pores on your cheeks, you could put it there, or if you find that your foundation wears off. I'm just putting it specifically in places that I know my foundation wears off, which is the nose and the chin. I am still using my DIY primer water, or Fake MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to, I've just been testing it out, trying different ratios of ingredients, and I'm pretty much ready to share my ingredients with you. So yeah, that'll happen in the next couple of weeks or so. So anyway, I just give my face a bit of a spray, and then I make sure it dries pretty much and gets kind of tacky before I go in with my foundation. And for foundation, I'm using the Mabeline, it's the Fit Me foundation in Hydrate and Smooth, not matte and poreless. And this is in the shade 110, and I love this stuff. I have my Guerlain foundation that, like, honestly, it is the nicest foundation I've ever used, the Lingerie Depot. But this really works awesome. So I've been really enjoying it. And of course the Beauty Blender is down. One of the tricks that I have found recently is when I'm putting the foundation on, I don't use a light hand when I'm punching myself with this sponge. I really press it in, and what I find is it melds with my skin a lot better, and just it makes it stops it from looking cakey. So I really just push it in, and that way it gets into just everywhere. I don't know what I'm saying right now, but you get the idea. Push hard, push hard. And now I'm going to use my Master Conceal by Maybelline in 10 Fair. And then I use my concealer brush. And what I really actually love this concealer. I think it does a great job. So. And I just take it down the high points of my face, so forehead, down the bridge of the nose, the other thing that I've started doing is just giving myself a bit of a dry time between each layer. So you know, I put on my primer water, then I kind of let that dry for a few minutes, put the foundation and the concealer on, and then I kind of let it dry down a little bit prior to putting the powder on. And I just find that, again, that helps it to not look cakey. For powder, I'm using the Nye Cameo Luxury Powder, and I still am really liking it. I think it's super finely milled. I think it's comparable to the Laura Mercier powder. It's not quite as nice. It's pretty much as fine, but definitely the Laura Mercier powder is super amazing. But this is a good second, and it's a lot more affordable. With my powder, I tap more than I floof. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit closer, and we'll start the eyes. So to start, I'm going to use my Smashbox 24-hour Photo Finish eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to use a brush to apply this as well. So today is a total experiment. I am just going to play around with this and get a little bit daring. So I think I'm going to start by going into the burnt orange color here. We're going to apply that through the crease. I seriously cannot get over how beautiful these shadows are. Like, they're pigmented, but a lot of times with pigmented shadows, they can be a little bit harder to blend. These shadows from this palette, they're amazing. They're very easy to blend, and I love them. Let's go into this Real Gar color right there. I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush and just blend these out. And the key is to blend, blend, blend until it's completely seamless. You know, blend until you get it to where you want it to. You don't ever film, you never show the full process, because that would take forever. But you just keep blending until you get it nice and smooth and looking the way you want it to. And if you lose color, you can always add color back in. The other thing that I've gotten into the habit of lately is a lot of times when I'm putting on my shadow, okay, so this is my eyes just relaxed. Now, it's rare that I look like this because I don't usually not smile. Like I'm usually like this. So oftentimes my eyes are open like this, but I still, if I'm relaxed, I want to make sure that I can see the shadow and it doesn't completely disappear within my hood. So keep that in mind. Like if you put your shadow on and you're raising your eyes like this, at different points, rest your eyes so you can see what your shadow looks like that way too. Just a little hint. Okay, now I'm gonna take that smaller fluffy brush and I'm going to go into the color Love Letter, which is this beautiful fuchsia color. And I'm gonna pull that onto the lid a ways. Okay, now I'm gonna use my fluffy brush, but I'm just gonna lightly blend this time. Where I was putting lots of pressure on before, and if you have a hard time with that, just hold your brush further on the tip of the brush, like at the back, and it makes it easier to go light. Just lightly blending the edges of this. Okay, now I'm gonna go back into the burnt orange, that first color, and just lightly apply a little bit more on this side. Okay, so next I'm gonna take a flat C brush and I'm going to go into the color Golden Ochre and apply that on the inner portion. That's what I've got so far. I'm gonna just take a clean blending brush and I'm just gonna kind of blend the two together here. Okay, so that's what I have so far. Oh, I'm tempted to go shimmery. Should I go shimmery? I think I'm gonna go shimmery, although I really like this just like this. What do you think? Shimmery or not shimmery? I'm gonna do shimmery because I love shimmery, but I really like it like this. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to go into the color Primavera right there and just put that over top of the yellow color. And then I'm just gonna pull a little bit of the fuchsia color back in and just kind of blend the two together. Now I'm gonna do similar steps on the bottom. I'm going to go into the burnt orange first. Then I'm gonna use an angled brush and I'm gonna go into that darker burnt orange color, Realgar. And with an even narrower angled brush, I'm going to go into that Love Letter. And just put that at the base of the lashes. So that's what I have so far. I like it. It's a little crazy, but it's a little crazy, but so am I. So am I. Okay, now I'm gonna go into the color Vermeer, and I'm going to just put that in my inner corner. To finish this off, I'm also going to take the color Tempera, which is the lightest color in the palette, and just put it on my brow bone. Look at it. I don't know. I think I should have been a painter. Although the paintings would have been scary, but abstract. I would have just done abstract art. Okay, now I'm going to use my Essence Gel Liner to tightline. And oh, just so that you know, I ran out of my first one, which was creamy and amazing and just fantastic. Bought another one. Someone had put a comment that they got one and it was just a dud, like really dry. This one is a dud. It's super dry and I'm not impressed at all. So yeah, they're not all created equal. And to do my waterline, I'm going to use the Mabeline Eye Studio Liner Gel. Okay, and then I'm going to take it and I'm going to smash it into the lashes. Also going to take the liner and I'm going to make it a little bit darker right in the lash, like the outer lash line here. Just like that. Okay, and then I'm just gonna give myself a bit of a wipe because I got it. Ow. Oh, why do I keep on like nailing my eyeball? It's horrible. I just keep nailing it. with things like this, and it, like brushing your eyeball is uncomfortable. So now we're gonna do eyebrows. We're gonna put mascara on, and we're gonna put lashes. And we're gonna do all of that off camera because it's kind of boring. Just so you know, I'm gonna use the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. I'm going to use the Mabeline Falsies Push Up Angel for the eyes. I'm gonna use my Tarte Lash Curler, and then I'm going to put my Kiss Ever Easy number 11s on my lashes. See you in a second. So let's get started with contour. I'm gonna use the usual MAC Omega eyeshadow. I'm gonna use Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. And for whatever reason, I've been really liking using this bronzer. I think I like it better than Chocolate Soleil now. Whenever I do this, I always feel like I'm shaving. If I ever shaved, but I almost said if I ever shaved. I'm not sure, but I think English might be my second language. I think my first language is gibberish. So for my blush, I'm gonna go in with my MAC Cubic color. It's just kind of a muted nude shade. And then I'm gonna go in with my H&M blush. It's in the color Pale Pink. I really like this shade. It doesn't last long, but I do like the color. I've had lip oil on, so I'm gonna wipe that off. Fantastic! So for my lip, I'm gonna keep it pretty nude. I'm going to use, as usual, MAC Stone. And then I'm gonna use this NYX lip liner in Pale Pink. And then I will use the Maybelline Matte 540 Peach Buff. And then the Laura Mercier lip gloss in Bear Baby. Okay, now I'm going to go into my Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit, and I'm going to do a mixture of these 3 shades, and I don't know why, but I've just been really liking doing that lately. Going on the tops of my cheekbones. We're almost done. I've got a bit of a glow on now. I'm going to, instead of using my Hourglass Ambient Lighting palette, which I just absolutely love. This e.l.f. palette, it's called the Illuminating palette. This is what it looks like, and it is very similar, like as far as the finish that it gives. You know, obviously it's not as luxurious, but it's also, I think it was $8.99 as opposed to like $60 or whatever it is here in Canada for the Hourglass. So I leave this color out because it's a little too dark, but I just kind of swoosh my brush in all 3 of these and then just give my face a light applying of finishing powder. Okay, so now my whole face is beaming with absolute beaminess. Okay, I'm gonna fix up my hair and then I'll be right back. So this is what we have. What do you think? How do you think it looks? I think it looks really good. Well, let's face it, I say that every time. You wanna know why? It's not because I think I'm the most amazing artist. I just get so excited about putting together different colors and coming up with something completely different. And for me, like, I like being able to figure out what I'm doing ahead of time, but I also like doing what I did today where I'm like, I'm just gonna take the palette, I'm gonna plunge in, I'm gonna give it a go and see what happens. And so that's the fun thing, is that makeup can be my own version of an adventure. And I love that! So anyway, this is what I've got going on. Hope that you like it, and yeah, I guess that's about it for today. So have an amazing week, and we'll talk to you soon.